All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, I'm Brother Brian here on KIEZ 106.7 FM. I'm back with the voice of the community. Hey, I got a local legend right here in front of us. We know him as Vitus, but to the world, he's known as Vitus Shell. All you have to do is Google his name. He has so many portraits out there, so many, a great resume. And Vitus, before we get into what is your website, but I want to say good morning, sir, and thanks for taking out a few moments just to sit down with me and visit with me. Because normally I see you on Facebook or some images. You're in the studio, so good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Like I said, I know you're a busy man, and I think the
Yeah,
last time I saw you before, we were at a community meeting in the
yeah,
community at one of the in the city of Monroe at one of the local recreation centers, and I was like, "Whoa, Vitus is at a community meeting. I hear about him at the college, educating the youth, the teenagers, the young adults. Now he's in the community. I was like, whoa, this may be the next MLK right before me. I'm like, wow. So man, it's good seeing you, man.
yeah, yeah. So I'm an artist. I hate to say local, but I'm an artist, and I do try to be in the community all the time. I'm a professor at Louisiana Tech University. Um, I'm a muralist.
Hold on. You got to break some of these words down to me, Vitus.
A
A
muralist is
muralist.
Yeah, an artist that I'm an artist that paints on walls. So and I kind of added that to my repertoire to have something that the community could actually see, because a lot of times the art that I make is in like galleries and museums and stuff like that, and sometimes a certain demographic of people are kind of like nervous about going into those spaces. So me doing murals was one of those things that connect directly to communities. So I'm a muralist, a community person all around. And Brian, I've been doing the things like this for years. Like when we had the shop, and I was working in the community, and it was really like a powerful thing for me too. Like just having that space and having access to so many people, because we had like 50 to 100 people come through every day. So that was also like a humbling experience for me, because it was connecting directly to the community again. I'm a graphic designer, and that's what I did in the shop where we had designing t-shirts and party flyers and album covers and all of that stuff. And
Yeah, because like I said, I think one of the first times I ever met you, I always knew
mhm.
as you were the artist that dealt with the characters. And
Yeah,
everyone in the community will come to try to set up an appointment with Vitus to do the characters, and that was just so popular of a fad at that moment. That could have
yeah,
been what 7, 8 years ago, but you're
yeah.
right. We have a history of being around each other in similar
Mhm.
businesses, complementing each other with businesses from pretty much every business we were in. It actually served the community. So
Right,
you're still doing the work of serving the people in the community. It's just
right.
as I
And
look over your
also, I would
shoulder
say this,
now.
Brian. I love
Yeah.
Brian. You also inspire. It's kind of like iron sharpening iron. Like having like those type of like-minded people being around each other. So I always felt like I was also being like learning from you also. So it was kind of like having good energy around each other kind of like helps kind of keep things going, because you have those days where you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can do it, and then you have something happens where, or you come in and say, Vitus, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, so it's a lot of times, in those spaces like that, we complement each other. So I felt like you were definitely like one of those people that kind of even encouraged me, inspired me to keep it going.
Oh, I
Seeing somebody
appreciate
that
that.
look like you, that's on their own business and stuff like that. That's very important. So that's kind of like and those are things that I carry for myself. Like I try to be that same energy for kids and younger people, and my other peers and stuff like that.
Okay, I appreciate that, man. I really do. And we definitely can't leave out well, the organizer that organized all of us together, brother Marcus. He's still
Yeah.
out there in the community, an extended portion of the community. He's working. He has great hopes of coming back here. But Vitus, I brought you on today. I want to talk about art. I
Okay.
want, because as I look over your shoulder, I see a portrait right above your shoulder. And you're right. I've seen you in the community painting on buildings, bringing to me, if I can define it, bringing beauty to something that was not visually attractive. But then once you finish we see you starting from the beginning to end, and you just bring it to life. I want to talk about art. Does art imitate life, or does life imitate art? Because Aristotle said that art imitates life, but there was a playwright by the name of Oscar Wilde says that life imitates art. And I'm not in that arena, if it's fair to say that, in that arena. And I, like you said, mentioned earlier, I thought art was something where distinguished individuals go to the museum and just look at art. So can you help us out? What is art?
It's the egg and the chicken argument, right?
Okay, okay, okay.
I think both existed, and I think both happens. Sometimes art imitates life, and sometimes life imitates art. And you see that like with the kids, out here wanting to be like the rappers, but the rappers are also rapping about things that's happening in the community. So it's kind of like the egg and the chicken argument. So for me, like I'm always inspired by all of the all of the things that's around me, things that happen to me daily, things that happen in the world daily, things on social media people talk about. So for me, my work, that's what I'm creating when I create. Um, I make paintings that um, I actually make paintings that I've been making since I was 8 years old. You know,
What do you
and
mean when you say that? It's been in your
no,
mind for
I've been doing the same thing that I'm doing now when I was 3, or just trying to like drawing what I see around me and trying to make sense of it. And that's what I do with my art. I'm trying to make sense of the things around me. And I'm like some of the conversations, you have with people, and some people think they're dumb conversations. They become pieces of art for me, because I think a lot of these conversations have deeper things to them than what's on the surface, and a lot of times we can't always um, put words to what it is, and that's the importance of art, is that you create these things that you can't always put words to. You know.
oh, that's pretty powerful there. Because I remember a while ago, matter of fact, we just mentioned, I just went to the local craft shop and purchased me an art set. I'm gonna pull out that canvas and try to do what you educated me on probably 5 to 10 years ago. You was over here at my place of business. We were just chatting. You were indicating to me that it is so important for the youth to see images at their local schools, because images is what becomes their reality. And
Right.
it didn't sink in to me at that time, but I've grown, I've matured, and today, I hope you don't sue me for it, but I use that same terminology now.
That's
Images is what we duplicate. It becomes
Yeah.
our reality.
We learn how to walk from watching somebody else. So like, as a baby, you're not knowing, but you're looking like, oh, I want to do that too. So what we put out imagery wise, we have to like figure out like how to like really be responsible in that. And I'm not saying that, like, people talk about like rap and gangster rap as it being a bad thing. I think it's more like we need a balance for our kids, because what gangster rap should be is a call to attention, right? And even the drug culture rap, it should be like this is an existence for somebody, But we have to figure out like even in the music, like how do we create more of a balance for our kids so our kids can see, okay, yeah, this is a thing that exists, but this is also a thing that exists, and I'm also I'm not this simplified version of what people put out me to be. I'm really complicated, and I feel like when I make art, those are the things that I'm investigating in the work. I'm talking about the complexities of Black folks, how complex we are. We're not just these one things, like even you, Brian, like sometimes when I'm talking to you and I find out this other thing about you, I'm like, damn, that's something else I didn't know about, Brian. But we're so complex. We have so many um, layers to us, but a lot of times we're only shown at this one way, you know. And I think that's the importance of the work I make, is that is about the people, because I'm always around the people. And even when I have people that come in and model for me that's the of the with the work I do, I'm like really like talking to them and trying to get to know them. And when you see the paintings, you're like, dang, this person look familiar, and they look familiar um because I'm really like painting something that's unseen, you know, is these deeper things that when I paint, when I create my work. So I think that's the importance of like why, you know, we with my work is those are the importance, but the importance of kids seeing people that look like them, that's not always in some kind of compromising position, or looking dangerous, or you know, being violent, and things of that nature. You know, we have to figure out like how do we envision ourselves being safe and free, and you know, and in the future, you know. And I feel like that's where Black creatives, that's the direction the Black creatives are gonna be going have to like start going into. And it's the importance of why we need to be in community meetings, is because we can visualize the world before it's a reality, you know. And without us like um, being at the table of um, um, with the community leaders about like the decisions for the community, you know, it's going to be some things that's missing. So, and a lot of times we get written off as being weird and you know, whatever, but we're really like the tastemakers, and we push the envelope so we can wear what we want to wear. We can change our hair, you know, without one of us, you know, people like, well, just wear your hair like this, a crew cut. But, and then you see somebody creatively doing something with their hair like crazy. And then you say, that's weird, but maybe that's cool at the same time. And then the hair starts to change. So, you know, like the artists or the culture, you know, the culture bearers, and, you know, we have to do a better job as a community of making space for our creators, and not like being naysayers and deterring our kids from being creative, you know.
Yeah, there's so much to say about art. I mean, you just dropped so much on us. Basically, you're indicating that life imitates art is a
Yeah,
form of expression and giving
expression.
others the freedom to express,
Hmm.
expressing their creativity, expressing their inspiration. Because I also know that now that I hear you speak through it, talk through it, I know you had a management company, or still may have a management company dealing with local musical artists.
Hmm.
So I guess that's the same or similar form of expression, and you're
It was.
allowing them that freedom.
Right. And it was also a learning experience for me, Brian. It's so much of what I learned managing them artists was I use in my work now. You know, using social media. I use social media to keep people up on what I'm doing now. It's not just like I'm just posting random stuff. Like it's me allowing people into my world, and inspiring them. And it's so many times sometimes I'm in the weirdest places where somebody like stop me and hug me and like, man, I see what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Woo, woo, woo. What one of the things I have to do a better job at, from hearing that, is like doing things with the kids. And that's my bigger goal, is to really like create a space for where I can do more with the kids in the community, because kids that grew up like us, you know, in the hood or adjacent to the hood, and but don't necessarily see anybody that look like them doing something that they might want to do, which is make art, or make or create fashion, or or whatever it is that's in the creative field, make movies or make music in a creative way, not the norm way. So I think we have to like, that's one of the things I really want to do, as far as like, you know, being a community person. I think that's taking what I do to the next level, and that's my goal.
Okay, okay. I want to touch on a couple of things here. First thing I
Okay.
want to touch on is that a couple of days ago, you recommended a book on your social media page. And two, I want to touch on, do you think that the children may be somewhat limited by their form of expression because of the curricular in school, since we don't have really have like schools of arts? But let's talk about the book that you recommended on your Facebook page just a couple of days about. I guess it was I guess an associate of yours. It was titled what, Knowing Art, or how does it go?
It's black collecting black, what is it?
That's
Collecting
what
art.
it is. Collecting Black art.
Yeah, collecting black art, the black market.
Yes. What
Our
is that
guide
book
to
about?
collecting art. It's just about like collecting, basically it's simple, collecting black art and the importance of like collecting black art and like how to kind of navigate through it. Because, I think it's a difference between collecting black art and like the regular market. And a lot of times like black artists are written off, and there's so many gems around us that we overlook. And the more, if our community did a better job at collecting black art, it'll also help kind of like grow the creatives in our field. It's so many times like I have people say, "Oh, that's expensive," or "do do 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 do," and then they go buy like a Birkin bag, or some kind of like expensive $1,000 shoes, and it's like, that's a painting. That's a painting you could have bought, and like something that you can kind of leave behind for your kids. And I'm definitely not the type of person that tries to discourage people from buying shoes or any kind of thing of that nature, because you look at the shoe market now, like we were shaming all these kids, oh, you shouldn't be buying those expensive Jordans. And now you see it's a whole market of people that's taking those same shoes that these kids were wearing and throwing away, and finding those shoes and reselling them for thousands of dollars.
Right,
So
right.
we have to be careful, like how we scold our community, because other people are paying attention to it and turn right back around, turn it right back around, and capitalize on it. So I feel like, with collecting art, I think it's definitely something that we can build in our community, and this, to me, is really like for us getting back to the basics of what we really need. We really need to be able to use our hands again. Like you said about them taking, like with so much stuff taken out of school, home economics, which is also a form of art, the culinary arts, taking our art out. Of course, you still got the bands and
Mhm.
choirs and things of that nature, but it's so many of the arts that's just been taken out of school. And I think it's because it limits the community and what they can do. Like being able to make, Mark, you and brother Marcus talk about, we don't make anything, not even our underwear, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's so important that we get back to making, and that's what encouraging the arts is about. Like making our underwear is teaching kids how to sew.
Right, right. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And
Using
what
raw
we
material.
yeah, taking we everything we wear, is it could be made. It's so weird because we've been detached from we're just consumers now. We've been detached from like all these things that exist around us. Somebody made, even
Absolutely.
if they made it on the top end level where they got manufactured, it's still somebody making these things. These are
Yeah.
objects,
And there
but
has to be
we
a
have
thought
to,
initially, creativity aspect of it.
and we have
Yeah.
to we have to figure out how to get back to that place.
Yeah, we do. We do. When I think of
Mhm.
artists, as far as in your line of work, I only know two. Definitely, I know you. And then there's another gentleman in West Monroe. I just don't know any other ones. So maybe that's one of the reasons why we become blind to African American or Black artists, because I only know of one. You're directly in the community. We may overlook you. And then there's a
Right.
gentleman over there in West Monroe. So
Right.
how can we
And that's
increase this?
so I've already started like that, trying to figure that out. So what I've started is a group called the Black Creative Circle, that and the Black Creative Circle is really like a platform for the creators in the community. So it's the Black Creative Circle of North Louisiana, and it's supposed to be it's us trying to really create something a synergy for all the creatives in this area. So with the group, we're having our second um, installment at the gallery crawl this Thursday, and it's
Was
gonna have it's a creative.
I think it's on your webpage, right?
Yeah, it is.
The Shell of Vitus.
Yes, that all of my social media stuff is linked through the theShellofVitus, our website. But on our we have a Black Creative Circle Facebook page that you can go follow. But it's on there about our event that's Thursday, and in the showcase live music, poetry, of course visual arts. We're gonna have some vendors. We're gonna have some food folks that's gonna be there. So we have a full line of things that's gonna be going on. We have our PR person, which is also a podcaster, who's a part of our Black Creative Circle. She's gonna be hosting it, and she does a great job at doing that. And it's also showing that, you know, creators is all over, you know, like it's not just, you know, the visual arts where we all think about being creatives. Like the creators are, you know, it's a full variety of what it is, you know, to be a creative. So yeah, we're doing that on Thursday at the gallery crawl from 5 to 8 o'clock.
So 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. this Thursday in the city of Monroe at the gallery crawl. There's gonna be an event.
We'll be at the Palace. Yeah, we'll be at the Palace.
And that's downtown Monroe.
Right.
Okay. All right. And well, pretty much everyone can just go to your website, theShellofVitus.com. They can get more information. And matter of fact, I think I'll come. Do I need to wear my Sunday's best, or can I come?
And you can dress as you are, you know.
Okay.
Yes, dress however you feel like dressing. So if you even feel like being creative and you know, dressing up, it's fine. I think that's a welcoming space. So it's definitely a safe space.
Well, Vitus, I sure appreciate you taking a few moments out. We're gonna push that this week. Try to get everyone to come out, because that's what we need. We need everyone to engage with one another and just have a freedom of expression. That may be strange to see, but I'm gonna be there to see it. And before we go, I'm gonna give you the last few words, but tell me about this portrait right above your shoulder.
Oh, this is one of my friend Aristotle paintings. I've had it in my storage for a while, and I just moved into my new space, so I got my house just filled up with art, man. Like I got so many pieces. The majority of my work that I have in my collection is by Black artists. I have maybe 4 pieces that are non-Black folk. But I'm also like a collector of like Black memorabilia and stuff like that. So I have like the mammy objects and stuff like that, little Black salt and pepper shakers, and like, so I'm a collector of I got a wide range of stuff that I collect. So this is one of my portraits that I have. Portraits that I have in my collection.
All right. So this Thursday, 5 to 8 at the gallery crawl, or is it called the Palace? Which one is it? I'm not familiar.
The Palace is the actual space. The gallery, the gallery crawl is the event that they have.
Sounds good.
Crawl.
Okay. All right. Well, I sure appreciate taking a couple moments out of your day. And I see you Thursday.
Yeah, I'll see you Thursday. Appreciate you, Brian.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Peace.